This is an Intro to Modern Assyrian, Lesson 9. I apologize for the long space in between lessons. Hopefully the next few will come out a bit quicker. So this lesson is going to mainly cover conjugating to go in the present continuous tense. It's a slightly unusual verb, but it will give you a better idea of how verbs are conjugated in Assyrian, and it's also very useful. So we'll start with I am going. It's the first person singular. Brichten. Brichten. And this is going to be said regardless of your gender. Brichten. Next is you are going. This is the second person singular. Brichtet. Brichtet. And again, this can be said to anybody regardless of their gender. Brichtet. Next is he, she, or it is going. This is the third person singular. Brichele. Brichele. This would be said of a male, so for he or it if it is describing a masculine object. Brichele. Brichela. Brichela. And this is feminine, so this would be said for she or it if it is a feminine object. Brichela. Next is we are going, so this is the first person plural. Brichshech. Brichshech. Here there's no gender difference. Brichshech. Next is you are going again, so it's the second person, but this time in the plural. Brichshetun. Brichshetun. Again, there's no gender difference. Brichshetun. The last conjugation is they are going. It's the third person plural. Brichshena. Brichshena. And once again, there's no gender difference here. Brichshena. So a quick and important grammar point. In Assyrian, the verb to go never takes a preposition. It's not necessary. It's not like in English where we say I'm going to a place. We don't need that to in Assyrian. So if you wanted to say, for example, I'm going to Los Angeles, you just say Bruchschen Los Angeles. Literally, I'm going Los Angeles, but you don't need any preposition there. Next is a vocabulary section. This lesson will cover the possessive pronouns and also continue the numbers. Edi. Edi. This means my or mine. Edi. Ediuch. Ediuch. This means your or yours. It's second person singular and masculine, so you can only use it when you're talking about a male. Ediuch. Ediach. Ediach. This is a second person again, also singular, but this time it's feminine, so you can only use it when you're talking about a female. Ediach. Ediu. Ediu. This means his. Ediu. Edio. Edio. This means her or hers. Edio. Edian. Edian. This means our or ours. Edian. Idiochun. Idiochun. This means your or yours in the plural. Idiochun. Idie. Idie. This means their or theirs. The last sound in this word is a little bit hard to explain. I wasn't sure how to represent it, so I just chose that sort of weird E. There's no English equivalent. It's like but it's further back in the throat, so it's Idie. Now, quick grammar point. The possessive pronouns always follow the word that they modify. Or, in other words, the possessive pronoun is always going to follow the object that's being possessed. Another thing to just keep in mind is that the possessive pronouns are not that commonly used to modify nouns. For example, if you're saying my house, there's a different way to say that, but I'll go over that in a future lesson. Didn't really want to go over all of them right now. It's a little bit too much, but just keep that in mind. You can use them, it's just not very common. It's also used more for emphasis if you use the full possessive pronoun. Also, a note on pronunciation. When you're using the possessive pronouns, the final vowel of the preceding word can be dropped. And if you ever hear this in spoken, that's what's going to happen. They won't usually keep two vowels right next to each other. Ishta. Ishta means 6. Ishta. Shava. Shava means 7. Shava. Tmanya. Tmanya means 8. Tmanya. Otcha. Otcha. The weird I used in this word, I couldn't really think of another way to represent it. It's not a sound that exists in English, but it's a lot like an I or a middle I sound, but it's further back in your throat, so it's Otcha. Usra. Usra means 10. Again, this is further back in the throat. Usra. Finally, are some sample sentences to show you how some of the new words are used in context. Brichshina Chicago. Brichshina Chicago. This means they are going to Chicago. Brichshina Chicago. Brichshina Chicago. Brichshina Chicago. Beta ediu gyurale. Beta ediu gyurale. This means his house is big. Also, you could cut out the last sound of beta and just say beta diu gyurale. Beta diu gyurale. Again, this isn't the common way to say this, but I'll go over the more common way later. Beta diu gyurale. Eia machina ediola. Eia machina ediola. This means that car is hers. Eia machina ediola. Okay, so that's the end of lesson 9, so I hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. And I'll try to get the next one out sooner. So until then though, thanks for watching. Merci.